Who's that? Oh, it is you, the viewers. Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV with your latest Manchester United transfer news and update. And in this video today, we're going to dive right into the transfer secrets. What is going on with Manchester United? Who are the top targets that are prioritizing? What are negotiating? Sources within the club saying they want to get the Ducks in early this transfer window. So we're going to talk about who are the potential left back signings, the centre backs, the midfield, the forwards, and everything, all that jazz. But also sources coming out to breaking news to say that FFP is going to be more lenient against the clubs here in FFP because we are moving away from the PSR, the British Premier League PSR. You can see that you will be able to spend more money in the summer, moving away from 70% to a potential up to 85%, moving into the UEFA rules of spending. That is massive, and that is going to implicate how Manchester United are going to do business this summer. But also, we're going to talk about what is the future for Mason Greenwood. What is the story here? Is there a Mason Greenwood Frenkie de Jong swap deal? As we saw yesterday, that John Murtough and our chief negotiator Matt Hargreaves was spotting around lingering Deco, which is the sporting director of Barcelona, including agents from CCA-based agency. Is there a swap deal in charge? We're going to dive into that. We're going to debunk the story. We're going to talk to you why they were there talking to Barcelona. So stick around for this amazing stories today. We have Mark Nurse coming in. MMMs is here, back on track. Stick around for the latest and greatest regarding the transfer news and Manchester United. We have so much thing to talk about. But before we continue, I want you to smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now. If you want to become a member, there is a link pinned in the chat room to become a member, but also don't forget to hit the notification button so you never miss when we go live or update a video. Please let the show go in.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Dankjewel. I feel welcome. Dit is mijn home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
Okay, big up to all of you for tuning in. How you doing? It is Tuesday, and we are days away from playing Liverpool in the FA Cup, and we got to talk about the FFP new rules. We're going to talk about Erik Ten Hag. Is his future safe? Apparently, reports are coming out from the Times to say that Erik Ten Hag is safe. We're going to talk about why this is so, but we also going to talk about the hottest story that came out yesterday that sent shockwaves and speculations around socials and media. We talk about Mason Greenwood, potential swap deal with Frenkie de Jong, and we hate that Frenkie de Jong saga because we've seen that John Murtough has been there before on a free holiday negotiating for a packet of crisps, but he didn't come home with the Frenkie de Jong, but he came home with the bid, which was 85 million. So what's going on there? Why did they visit Barcelona? Why did they talk to Deco? Cool and composed, and more. We're going to talk about the transfer stories, the secrets, with Mark Nurse here in the house, but also the latest team update as Mason Mount is finally setting foot on the grass. But what's going on with Terrell Malacia? Nobody really knows. Please welcome to the stage my partner in crime. It's been a hot minute. We're talking about Mark Nurse. How you doing, Mark? You are on mute, buddy. You are on mute. Unmute yourself. Do we have a translator here that can do sign language?
Big up, everybody. Big up
There you
everyone
are.
in the VR room.
There you are.
Hope you're well. Mick was at the grocery, supermarket. Sometimes the lines are long when you're cashing for food, and it's lots of food because, as you can see, I'm a big guy. I eat a lot. Big up to everyone in the chat. Hope everyone is doing well. It's one of those things where on the business end of the season, it's Manchester United.
Yeah.
People. Some of us like me have the hope that we might get top four. Some of us thinks it's not a reality, but you know what it is? It's football. The game is unpredictable.
Yeah.
And so has been the season. Not to mention
100%.
the top four race, because nobody would expect Man City to be in third.
No, 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 no. True, true, true. I mean, opinions are like butt cheek, right? You have to the left, you have the lefties that believe that this is the way, and to the right, you have the righties that believe that, and in the middle, you have the shit. You know what I mean? And that's a butt cheek, right? There's
Yeah.
shit opinions, there's left opinions, there's right opinions, and it is so toxic to even have an opinion nowadays in socials. Like, if you Ten Hag in, you get shit by the Ten Hag outers that is on the right, and sometimes you just want to be in the middle. And what you say, it's been a shit season. We can all agree there hasn't been a style of play, and there's been a lots of injuries, and it's been a torrid season for Manchester United, haven't it?
Yeah, it's been one of the tough ones. You know what I mean? It's been really, really difficult to stomach as a fan. Like, I mean, as much as I would like to criticize Erik Ten Hag for the fact that we don't have a definite style of play after 18 months, I still have to say, but look, we are making excuses for De Zerbi not having his back four. We're making excuses for Ange for not having his back four and injuries. And as a Manchester United fan, you would know firsthand that we had the most injuries of any Premier League club this season. And to start the season, we didn't have our best back four that we built our solid defense off last season, that built our season around it.
Yeah, no,
So
100%.
it's kind of hard. Like, as a top manager, I would say we could be in Chelsea's situation, fighting for 11th or 12th right now. But if not for the manager doing his
Oh
best to
God,
change things and get
Chelsea.
results from what
Yeah,
he has
Chelsea.
left, we wouldn't be within a shout of top four. I mean, it's only six
Yeah, yeah,
points,
yeah.
8 points to get to fourth place. And if you look at the next six games, Mick, like you've been talking about for the last 2 weeks, no one is paying attention to the month of April. Everybody is in the now. And it's good to live
Yep,
in the now, especially if you're a Manchester United fan, because it's one game at a time. But
it
if you look
is.
at the month of April, those two teams above us could probably drop the
They
points,
could.
more points than 12.
Yeah.
It's possible.
T- 2 points adding on to what you said there, Mark.
Mhm. You're on mute, Mick. Is it me?
Am I back? Hello, I'm back. Can you hear me if I'm back? Hello, 1 2 1 2 testing. Mark disappeared. We have some technical issues. Bloody hell. What a start to a stream. Can you hear me? Mark,
I can
can
hear
you
you
hear me?
now.
One,
You're back.
two, three.
I'm back and
Yes.
you're back.
Yes, good, 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 good. Glaze has been out there jinxing our network connections. But listen, two thoughts that I want to bring to the stage. And that is barring that we are sitting sixth. We have spoken about the trajectory of potentially getting fifth or fourth, right? We demonstrated the roadmap of the run of fixtures that Spurs have to play. They're playing four tough games in a row. Villa, I think they're crumbling 100%. They're playing West Ham, and West Ham is everyone's bogey team, right? So we're not going to talk about that, but I want to talk about potentially that we've been blinded by the negativity light. We've been blinded by the light, but as you said, we're stuck in the now, but we can't see the forest from the trees, right? Because, or you can't see the mist, like you can't see the sunshine for the mist that's in front of you. And I feel that a lot of United fans are feeling this way because it's been negativity after negativity. Press are feeling doubling down on the Ten Hag stories, the takeovers, the scandals, everything. So I'm not going to talk about it because I want to bring this to the stage, Mark, that the Times did an article today to say that Ten Hag's job is pretty much in safety. Why? The factor is report saying that the Ten Hag's favor in this to be, you know, in this manager position is due to the club refuses to pay over 14 million that's going to cost to fizz him out. Plus, you have to pay out the backroom stuff. So you're looking at 30 million probably, right? And this is money that the club don't have at the moment. It ain't matter at the moment what the report is saying as well, according to the Times, that INEOS has recognized that it's not his fault, basically. They believe that he can sort of manage the squad with the right kind of tools, that, he's been stranded, like, sink or swim, without any backup or without any competent staff above him. So nothing is going to happen until you get the Omar Barada in, until you get, the proper people that support him, right? So they
Mm.
most likely are going to keep him, right? And he's got 1 year left on his contract, so that's what it is. Otherwise, you're going to set yourself back 2 years, right? So
Yeah.
you can argue to the point regarding the style of play, because style of play, what is that? Well, the style of play is identification that you play with the full fit squad, and you haven't had that really full fit squad, right? But one might also argue, Mark, that Ten Hag is kind of is known to want to play with the 13, 16 players maximum, right, and rotate them, and that's not sustainable.
It's not really sustainable. But I mean, if you look at our squad, we have some young players coming in, and I'm pretty sure they're very talented. As I've been watching them all season, especially the ones who have been refit and readjusted to fit Ten Hag system. The youngsters who remained after the 26 players left last summer, they all left from the academy. Most people would not know that. So it's one thing where I would like to say that Ten Hag would like to probably change it and bring in some of the youth who can play his style of play and show more potential. But
Yeah,
at the
hundred
same
percent.
time, there's a lot to be done with the senior players that we have in the squad. And at the
Yeah,
same time, these young players have only been making this transition one season now into the style of play. They're not like Liverpool, who's had Klopp for 9 seasons and they've been learning that same style of play for
yeah,
9 years,
yeah.
or like Man City.
Yep. So let us go to the VR room. Big up for all of you. Welcome. I see you knocking on the door. You want to have your say. Let's bring you to the stage. Hello, who's there? Oh, this is VR room. Reggie is saying, ridiculous title again. We're ridiculous. It ain't us creating the news. We're just reporting on the news, Reggie. So hold your horses. How many times does Dejong have to say no? He's not interested in United. And that he will stay at Barcelona, his dream club. We got to talk about that further on. So hold your beer there. This is one of the stories that I want to discuss to you about as well. So park that, Red J, as well. We're going to address that in a minute. Yalman mean, but Murtough was also in Madrid. Not sure if they visited only Real, but it also over Atletico. You wouldn't basically travel down to Spain with Matt Hargreaves if you don't have anything to offer or negotiate about, right? Mark?
100%. I feel
So,
like there's something to be negotiated. What that
so
is, we're not
yeah,
sure.
yeah, 100%. And that's why we are truth seekers here, like Truth Seeker himself here. INEOS are blaggers. I don't trust Ratcliffe or INEOS. Everyone has a reason to be suspicious. It's been a lot of smoke, but where's the fire? We've been linked to Dan Ashworth. Edwards is now going back to Liverpool. Even Julian Ward, I think, might return back to Liverpool. But Edwards is going back to Liverpool, that I saw today. Ashworth, reports are still ongoing that they are trying to figure out what is the compensation packet to release the ransom fee earlier. Dougie Freeman was, hinged as a potential head of recruitment, but none of them are in place, and that's why Ten Hag's job is kind of safe at the moment. But still, the transfer market, guys, just to let you know, this starts already. The planning starts already in January, right, for the summer. So there is already identified targets that they want to get across early, and we're going to talk about which ones are they further down the video. Will, big up, mate. I wouldn't say a good riddance. Let him go to Barca. I would say that he's here in case of sensitivity and people waiting this player back at United. Don't really have some massive uproar in going course. I think you're talking about Greenwood here. I think you are. I think you are. So big up Sanjay as well. Good afternoon to you. Stephanie Griffith is here. Big up 5 likes. Let those likes fly, please. Please give us the likes. 100% give us the likes. That's what we live for. Live for. You know what I
100%.
mean? Neil Driscoll, afternoon. If afternoon, everyone is in the house. Alan as well. Let's continue. De Jong will come if he shoots his wife first. We're not going to provide violence here, Madhouse. Always big up. Listen,
Madhouse is
Mark.
saying that because there's been stories that the Jong's wife loves Barcelona. The weather is amazing, and she's a content creator. So
Yeah,
influencer vibes.
yeah. And rounding up, Scotty at the wheel saying 16 fit players on a season won't win you the league. We would be lucky to make top four. Well, Mark, there is the Newton law of gravity. What comes up must come down, like injuries, right? We had our fair share of injuries the whole season, right? Now injuries are creeping up on Liverpool. The only thing that is fully fit, I think it's City, but City's been cheated, right, to get to the point where they are. They have a bench that could walk into any Premier League top six side, and that is cheating to me, man. Big up to you. Listen, I want to talk to you about the FFP new rulings. Are you interested to hear about it?
Yeah, because that's the interesting thing for me. Would like to hear
Yeah,
and speak about.
100%. Like the the clubs have been voted in favor for moving away from the PSR, profit and sustainability rules of Premier League, to go more into the UEFA rules. That means that, Mark, in certain ways, that means that, how do I explain this in layman's terms as possible? Before, you could spend maximum 70% of what you earned on your footballing operations. Now they're increasing it to 85%. That means that whatever you earn, whatever you do, you can put in more money into transfer market in the summer. Now, is this benefiting clubs like Manchester United? Is this benefiting the rich clubs? 100% it does. But what about the smaller leagues, right?
Hmm.
Is this, according to you, a good step forward? Because I think that the PSR has been ridiculous cracking down this summer, like, punishing Everton and everyone else, right?
Yeah, and maybe it would be good for us to become more of a selling club than a buying club for once. You know what I mean? Like when you look at the takeover, we want to build a new stadium. That's going to cost near a billion, 1.2, maybe $2 billion to get the stadium done. That's a lot of money. Maybe the Manchester Corporation is going to fund it. Maybe they're going to own it. Maybe it's going to be, but at the same time, there's going to have to be some expenditure. We have lots of things to take care of. We have lots of parts of the puzzle for the structure behind the scenes to fit in still. It's going to cost us. You know what I mean?
It's going to cost us.
It's probably going to
It's
cost.
definitely going to cost us. But another thing that is baffling to me is that, at the end of the day, we cleared the FFP. We did so hard in the January window not to spend, and then we cleared it with miles away, right? There was a positive report balance. So that means that now you can go in the summer window. You know that you have certain players leaving out the door. Martial is going, like, Christian Eriksen is going. There's a lot of players that's going to be shipped out. So that means that you're going to have a positive balance around 400 million to spend. But I don't believe you're going to do that in one window, right? You're not going to
Yeah.
be crazy like a Todd Bowley. But it's a positive news, isn't it? Like, in terms of what we can do in the summer window.
Yeah, I mean it's a positive change. Maybe, the other good things that might possibly be a good is that we might act early, act swiftly.
That's what we're
These are
going
the
to do.
things that are most important to how INEOS is going to take things forward. The way they go about the business. It's not just having a huge budget, you know what I mean? Because almost average every summer we have a 3 to 400 million budget. We might not spend 300 million, but we damn near always spend 260 something. So in my opinion, having a big money summer is not at all the greatest news, but the best news is how we're going to spend the money. That would be where I'm paying attention to.
Yeah, yeah. What have you been hearing? Like, what are the priorities position? I mean, I've been talking to the intermediate market just to find out what is, the secret deals, and I have my list. But what have you heard?
Well,
What is the
I don't know. I don't
priorities?
know, but I feel like you hear some things that I've heard, and I'm hearing that we're quite interested into Gelson Bremer. The defender, the Brazilian guy. He's pretty big, pretty guy. He's very physical. He's very
Damn.
strong. I know. So I'll let you go into the details on that one because I know you know
Yeah,
more than I do. But I
yeah,
feel like that's not a bad target. Another center back would be good for me. You know what I mean? I feel like we could bring back Alvaro to solve the left back situation. We probably, if we don't move Luke Shaw on, he's still gonna be here. So him alternating with Alvaro isn't bad.
yeah. But
Realistically, Malacia is gonna be fit at some point.
yeah, speaking about Malasia, his agent Patrick Poldevard, I was in touch with him, and just basically to clarify what the hell is going on with him. So it is a knee injury, right? He's
Hmm.
ruled out for the rest of the season, similar to what happened to Urin Timber, right?
Hmm.
The problem is he came back fit, but he had to do another surgery, so that sets him back, right? He came back a little bit too early. It didn't heal properly, and now he's back injured again, and that's going to be to the rest of the season. So this is very unfortunate, right? We hasn't kicked the ball since the. I mean, he wasn't even part of the preseason. But same thing with Arsenal. They bought Urian Timber, and did the same thing with his knee, right? ACL,
Hmm.
wasn't it?
ACL, yeah, same thing. And
It's a
it's
very
tough.
difficult
Like
situation.
Yeah, it's a very difficult situation to be as a club in and a player as well. Like, I mean, if you go on what you've seen from Terrell Malacia last season, he's a hard worker, he's a fighter. He has the ability and he has the potential to be a very good left back. Everybody was comparing him to Evra at some point in the season last
Yeah.
season. So I would say it's quite disappointing as a fan because now he's injured. You don't know how he's going to come back. But if you judge him based on his actions in last season, then you know he's a fighter. He will come back to the best of his ability. Is
Yeah.
what that ability is going to be? We have to hope for the best and see.
Would you blame the club or Ten Hag for not having a left-sided fullback?
I feel like I'll blame the club more because at the end of the day, I feel like Ten Hag, even though we know he has a veto, that veto only works in conjunction with the veto that Woodward and Joe Glazer has. So the two of them also could over supersede Ten Hag. And as we know, this club has to used to have this this situation where we would sell players or do things in order to create funds for dividends, and selling young players and moving them on seem to be like that's where we get our
That's
dividends
profitable. Yeah, that's
profitable. You know
profitable.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I would blame the recruitment staff more because they are the ones who are sending players out on loan. They are the ones who are
Yeah.
recruiting
Yeah.
players.
No. No.
Ten
Hundred
Hag
percent.
will get some blame, but mostly the recruitment.
The reason per se is that Ten Hag had a small veto, but he was overruled because of the financial fair play. They wanted sort of to trim down everything, and as you said, like selling or loaning out youngsters create a positive balance on the FFP books, right? So I think they were banking on Malacia to come back fit, and they were banking on Luke Shaw to come back fit as well. And that's why you saw they took Regulon on for 6 months and they didn't extend his contract. Yeah, but I think that planning left Ten Hag short, and that has been like the downfall, like of these the season. So we've been playing on one leg basically and still surviving. We lost two ever since the new year, 100%, and we've been shuffling around players like in a disposition in the position that are they unaccustomed to, right?
Hmm.
Playing Lindelof there as a left-sided fullback, playing Amrabat there as a left-sided fullback. We don't really have a fullback, but now it looks like I remember Saka is back.
That's very good news. Very good
Yeah,
news. You know
so
what I
we can
mean?
have a little bit of balance. Luke Shaw, I mean, Dalot can go to the left back position, and Van Bissaka can go to the right, and there we go. We have balance all of a sudden.
Thank God we've been playing one game a week, Mick, because imagine Delo has played all the games except for the game where he was red carded with the two yellow cards.
Yeah, yeah,
And Dallo for me, he's played right back, he's played left back, he's been playing week in, week out, and he seems to be only getting better. His performances seem to be getting better and better and more consistent. Having Wan Bissaka back provides balance for us now because you could at least, like you said, switch Dallo to the left. Wan Bissaka slots in at right, and now we're going to be a lot stronger in defense and a lot stronger with our progressive playing because, as we know, Dallo is good on the ball.
yeah. He's
So
very good.
he's going to
I mean, I'll
provide an
go argue
outlet
to
on
the
the left.
point, Mark, that Dalot is the most improved this season at all. Like I think
Yeah,
Dalot has been
I
amazing.
think so. I think, also I have to give a shout out to Onana. I have to put my hands up with the guy. I
Yeah,
was ready
Onana.
to sell him in the summer, and he's been bringing some performances in the last few games that making me say, you know what? This guy is performing now. Let's see what he can do going on to the end of the season. Maybe he was just having a bad start to his career at United. You know
So
what
you
I
put
mean?
your hand up and for Onana, right, to say,
Yeah,
yeah, sorry, I
yeah, you
was
got to
wrong.
put your hand up when you get it wrong sometimes. You know what I mean? Like Neil Driscoll is coming in saying, who would you take? Would you take Neto from Wolves? That's not a
Yeah, we're
bad
going to talk about
shout.
that. Yeah, 100% that we'll talk, but we will hold that horses because we're coming to that point as well. But guys, if you're still watching, I don't know how many of you, there's 102 of you watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up like button, please. If you haven't subscribed, you guys sitting there in the VR room, you know who you are. You can see yourself there. And we will continue. Big up for all of you. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. And a lot of you saying, Angie's here. Good afternoon. Hand pinky wave, Mick Mark mods, chat VR, and smash that like button. 100%, 100% do that. Yes. Now, Marky, let's talk about Barcelona trip. Who wants to talk about the Barcelona trip? Put
Me?
your hand up. You?
Yeah, let's talk about the Barcelona trip because he was there twice last season. He came back empty-handed. He went to Juventus, came back empty-handed. What's Murtough up to right now?
What's Murtough cooking? Well, I was quick to debunk this yesterday because let's go to this tweet. Basically, let me just switch to this stage here. Like, guys, you saw this tweet yesterday that John Murtough together with Hargreaves, the chief negotiator, was spot Ed in Barcelona meeting Deco and also the two representatives from an agency called CAA based. They are London based, right? And there was Frank Tramboli and Fede Masai. You might put two and two together. Oh well, there were a lot of people were saying, well, this is for Mason Greenwood and Frenkie Dejong and all that stuff. But what if I tell you that that was never the case, right? You wonder why. You wonder why. Well, first and foremost, Mason Greenwood is represented by his father, Andrew, right? So Andrew has been in charge of Mason Greenwood ever since he was a child, all these contract negotiations. CEA base would represent Casemiro. They represent who? Rafael Varane and Bremer, the centre back, and many, many more. So this has nothing to do what people were saying yesterday. This has been confirmed. And by the way, I tweeted this yesterday as well. I did. And I said that in a tweet. So, were to add to this story, the Mason Greenwood is not represented by CAA. His father, Andrew, is. So, basically, Rafael Varane is the end of the contract, but they have one extension to offer for Rafael Varane, 1 year extension, as per what they usually do in contracts, right? So, if it's for talks regarding Frenkie de Jong, that comes down to Ollie Durson, who is his manager for HCM management. And lo and behold, today, later on, I was right because Centre Devils came out to say Barcelona is not currently working on a deal to sign Mason Greenwood from Manchester United this summer, according to Fabrizio Romano. Mark, debunked.
When you say this to some guys, they get mad at you because they have their opinions and whatever. And I mean, and I get the whole saga with Greenwood. I get the whole issues, but let's move aside the non-footballing matters for now and let's focus on football. You know,
Well,
at the end of
let's
the
not move
day,
us. Let's move away. Let's stick to the point to say that yes, Barcelona is in currently financial trouble. Barcelona needs to sell a lot of players. Manchester United are interested to make deal with Barcelona and Real Madrid. Manchester United is talking about Casemiro potentially offload in the summer. Manchester United is interested in getting rid of Rafael Varane because they are two players on the top two high earners in the club. And plus, they're interested in other services like Deco, for instance. Not Deco, but Gavi and stuff like that. There's a lot of youngsters that are interested in. Plus, potentially talking about CA also represent, yes, who?
who's that?
Jason
Sancho,
Sancho.
Jaden Sancho. I was
Jason.
about to say that.
Jason
Yeah,
Sancho. Because
the
why?
evil twin
Because
brother.
Dortmund is taking the piss. Dortmund is taking the piss. They're trying to take us for the mug. They say, well, he's doing all right. Maybe we'll get him for another loan down his contract. Wait down his contract and offer silly money. But Manchester United don't want to do that. Do you think that Sancho will fit Barcelona or Real Madrid?
Yeah, he's got that style. I mean, I think he would fit any team that plays an expansive attacking way, to be honest. I mean, it's been really poor from him, his performances over the last season and a half. I would say it's not really like what he was. He lost that drive that he had, in my opinion, because I'm a huge Sancho fan, very huge. He's also Trinidadian, and I want him to be the captain of my team for the World Cup 2026. So I'm pretty sure everyone knows the complications with that to get him to play for
Mm,
Trini as he already
mm,
represented England. But I think as a player, he needs to dig deep and find that spark that he lost. Because we could sit here and he could blame Ten Hag. He could blame someone else. But at the end of the day, he has to blame himself because his lack of effort is what has him in this situation. He's a very good
yeah,
player, very talented. And I think he
yeah,
would benefit any team.
yeah. So it's interesting because you mentioned a name, and that is Bremer, right?
Hmm.
That's from Juventus. And basically, the agents that were there represent Bremer as well. And Manchester United, I did a video about this yesterday. Bremer is on the top target of the right sided centre back, right? When we speak about left sided centre back, guess who that is?
Goncalo Ignacio.
Nope.
No?
Guess.
One more guess. Um, Antonio Silva.
Nope. You can guess one more time.
One more time. Jarrad Branthwaite.
Bingo! It is Branthwaite, 100%, because they're coming out to say that the deal is possible to do, right? He's one of the top targets, and I kind of embraced this story, right? Breaking news as well to say that Dan Ashworth pushing hard and behind the scenes to sign Jarrad Branthwaite. Asking price is set on 75 million, but 65 and add-ons could seal the deal for Manchester United. What's your thought and feelings regarding that?
I like Branthwaite, he gives me that energy. He gives me a kind of old school defender vibes. Like he is not afraid to bruise some players, and he has a very good mobility factor. He's very good in the air as well, and he has good ability on the ball. Like he had a bit of trouble against Garnacho, but what player doesn't have a bad game sometimes? I think he's more
Hmm.
consistent than that performance, and one of the best and brightest sparks of Everton's season this season. So I think it's a definite good deal. As I mentioned, Goncalo Ignacio before. To be fair and honest, that's actually my favorite target because the way he plays for me is closest to like Lissandro Martinez, but he's like 4 feet taller, 4 inches taller, or 5 inches taller. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
a little
100%.
bit more
That is
height.
nailed on, to be honest. These are the secrets that I want to talk to you about today because I spoke to Fabrizio for Alfredo Pedula. As you know, we have a very good relationship, and
Mhm.
Alfredo was spot on in the summer, especially with the Italian market. He was spot on with Onana. He was spot on with Rasmus Højlund. He was spot on also with Sophie Namrabat. So we worked in the summer together, and I asked him, like, is does this have leg? And he says 100% yes. Now the reason why I want to say regarding Bremer, right? 26-year-old Brazilian. He is so good in the air. He's explosive. He's fast. He's good on the ball. And he's like, I don't know. We're looking at Kim Min-jae, but this is even better because he was nominated as the centre back of the year 2 years in a row in the Serie A. Now,
Yeah.
Juventus is under pressure, financial pressure. They have to offload. And apparently, there's going to be a bid submitted. And because Manchester United want to do the business early, right?
Mhm. This
So,
is professional things here. You know,
yeah.
do the business early, Mick.
Yeah. So, guys, I do recommend you to go and look some scouting, compilations regarding Bremer because you will see what I see, right? He is an absolutely destroyer. He is so good on the ball. He's fast, explosive. And if you want to play like, a high line, he's your guy, right? Um, Jarrad, though, from Everton, young kid, tall stature. I like what I saw against when they played against us. You know, this is the player that I think could, offer solidity, like, but you have Leacher playing left-sided centre back. So Jong Jarrad, or what do you call him, Braithwaite?
Branthwaite.
Yeah, he probably would be an understudy there, right?
I mean, when you say understudy, make it to me it more like he will be there to give Martinez
Oh,
cover.
rotating.
Come in on at 30 minutes after. What I mean, probably get a lot of the game time in the FA Cup. Probably start or alternate games in the Champions League or Europa League next season. These kind of things. I think he's gonna get lots of game time, and he is both footed as Jordan Wall is
Yeah,
pointing
big up
out there.
Jordan Wall. How you doing?
That I definitely noticed in the game
Both
against us.
footed.
He's a guy, he switches to both sides and he can play the ball very
Yeah,
well.
but
You know,
the same thing. I mean, right-footed is Bremer. He's right-footed, but he can play both on the left and both on the right. So that is a big strength. And centre back pairings is something that we need together with a sweeper keeper or Nana. That means that we can play that high line, and we have to invest in the midfield. So I'm gonna move down to the targets, the hotter meter. Are you ready, guys? Before
yeah,
we do,
let's
give
crank
us
it
a
up.
like and subscribe, please. You know what to do. Hit that like button, please. Let's move on to the targets. Mark, I'm gonna go one by one because I also spoke to our brilliant, brilliant insider reporter, no other than Jack Talbot, by the way, that we had on the show. Um, Hodometer, left back, right back. Who do you think?
I think we go for a left back. You know what I
Yep,
mean? I just feel like there's something says that we're gonna snatch a left back in the market
we're
again.
gonna snatch a left back.
It's going to be a
Who do you
tough
have?
one. I know Eric Ten Hag targets in on right back is currently, Frimpong. That's going to be a hard deal to do.
Hardy,
There's
yeah,
also the other guy who's at Roma. Is Roma? It's Milan. Um
Milan.
Dumfries. He's pretty good, but he's also about to hit 28, 29.
Yeah.
We're not too sure if
Did you
Shajivic going to
say?
look at that.
Did you say dumb fries?
Yeah, I mean, I said Dumfries, but
I'm just
it's
joking,
the
man.
same. At the same time, I don't know. Like for me, if it was up to me, I'd get two center backs, I'd get two midfielders, and I'd get a striker. I
Okay, but
feel
we're
like we
talking
have
about the
more.
Hodometer for I think right back. What I heard was not a priority. Left back is what I heard is priority, 100%. Right. I think they're going
Mhm.
to ship off Luke Shaw. By the looks of it, what's going to happen to Alvaro Fernandez? We don't know. Will they sell him? We don't know. Malacia injured for the rest of the season, so left back is a priority, 100%. I don't think that the club will keep Sofian Amrabat. I think they will return him back to Fiorentina. But we got to invest in the left back situation. I haven't really got the name because there's multiple opportunities, multiple players. But if it was you, who would you go for?
If I was to go for a left back, I like this guy who plays at Dortmund. I think his name is Sule. I think his name is Sule. I like
Sule.
him. I think he's very, very good. He has this never say die attitude. He's very physical. He's very capable. And also, to be honest, I won't mind going to Barcelona and offering some money for young Baldi because I think he's got
Maybe that
everything
was
we
what they
need.
were talking about yesterday.
You never know. He hasn't been getting much game time this
Yeah,
season,
true.
and
True, true.
he.
This is the transfer secret. So yeah, they definitely spoke about certain targets in Barcelona. They wouldn't be there otherwise. So big up to them, and hopefully they come home with something, right? Right?
Yeah, no hand swinging today.
Because
Come on.
United is currently looking at fullbacks that can bomb forward, the physical specimens, the technical good on the ball, can put crosses in, and this is something that we don't have, right? Luke Shaw has shown glimpses, but Luke Shaw injury record is horrid. It's very horrid. I'm not gonna slate the player, but you got to look after yourself, 100%. If I'm Omar Barada, I look at your injury record versus how many minutes you're available. I would say, not sustainable. Why are we paying you 250 a week out of the door, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, son. So big up people. What's the chat saying? Curlis, would that keep Fernandez left back? Yeah, no, Fernandez. What the hell is going on? Why is this change his name at
Oh,
Caraca or
well, I
something?
mean, you know how Spanish players do it, Mick. It's just like the Brazilians. They traditionally have like four names. So like sometimes it's more like his name is Alvaro Fernandez. You know
Mm.
what I mean? But everybody maybe is closer. His family calls him Caceres. So you never
Caceres,
know.
like you have a Falcao or
Yeah.
Ronaldo,
Like
Ronaldinho.
Radmo Falcao, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes he had it's like Chicharito. Chicharito is not his name. You know what I mean? It's what they
Chicharito.
called him. It's like the Mexican cock or something is what Chicharito is.
You didn't say
No,
that.
I'm just saying.
Coco.
For
Cock,
real,
yeah.
like Chicharito is
Yeah.
not his name. You know what
No,
I
no.
mean?
No, no.
So it's one of those things. Like that's just what he chose to put on
Oh
his
my god.
shirt. Maybe he was just like, you know what, I'm gonna put this name on the back of the shirt so I could get a clean break.
Yeah, no, no,
Disappear in
true.
the
Because
league and
when
my
I was watching the
performances will
Europa
show.
League, I didn't recognize. Like, hang on, what is this name? Like, it's Fernandez. I saw his face. Like, that's Fernandez, right?
Yeah.
No, I definitely believe that we should bring back Fernandez. He's such a starlet, and it would be a crime if we sell him for 8 million. Because you know what they're gonna do. You know what they're gonna do. Benfica is gonna buy him for cheap, and they're gonna then sell him out for 100 million.
Yeah, like they're gonna do us next season when we go to buy our favorite Marcos Leonardo, you know. By then, he's gonna
Perhaps.
probably be worth 90 million because he's what on 11 goals this season or something like that already, 4 assists, something like that.
Jonathan Borg is saying, yeah, Sule is a German, slow as Maguire and bigger.
Nah,
I don't
Sule is
know.
not slow, bro. Sule is not slow. Sule made some clearances off the line when his keeper was beaten many times, bro. Sule is very good.
Yeah, Chicharito means little P.
Yeah,
Big
something
up,
like that.
Madhouse. Hey, somebody knows with languages there. Little P, what Dorbit Lord is saying as well.
Big
So
up,
big up
big up.
Fernandez, yeah, 100%. Now, listen, regarding the, we spoke about the right centre back, and that is Gleison, right? Gleison
Hmm.
Bremer, 100%. I did a podcast about this the other day, and there's no smoke without fire. Definitely, there will be a bid for 50, most likely to be rejected. Juventus are slightly pushing towards the 70 million euro mark, but there's always negotiations, right?
I mean,
We will negotiate, right?
yeah, and I feel like we have one or two players that Juventus might be interested because I mean, if we were negotiating with Barca, if it's not Sancho and it's Varane, I'm pretty sure Juventus
Yeah.
wouldn't mind having a Varane or having a Jadon Sancho, seeing that they were in for a loan for him
Yeah, yeah,
last
yeah,
summer.
yeah.
You know what I
Now,
mean?
guys, go check him out. Like, go type in his name if you haven't heard for him before. But he's brilliant. He's absolutely a monster.
Very
Um,
intimidating as
Another
well.
room is as well that we might go to offer a scandalous offer for Kim Min Jae because he's not getting minutes, which is very astonishing because they prefer to play Eric Bloody Dyer instead of him from Spurs. I can't believe it. I can't
Yo,
believe it.
Mick, is Kim Min Jae sitting down there like, what did I do?
Yeah.
You know, what did I do to my career? I rejected Man United and
No,
I'm on
but
the
the thing
bench.
is, they triggered a release clause, right? They did.
Mm,
You know, United were genuinely in for Kim Min Jae, but it was not a part of the priority. They were working towards the striker first, the goalkeeper, and then came to the centre back. And by then, Bayern Munich just swooped in, triggered that release clause. His agent agreed. Cool. And look at him now, sitting on the bench, right? Which is bloody disgrace. And Bayern, by the way, they're like hoovers, like vacuum cleaners. They hoover up everything. They do. It wouldn't surprise me if they go for the next manager, which is Bayern Leverkusen's manager, Javi Alonso, because that's what
yeah,
Bayern do. Yeah,
they would. I think they are trying to, but right now I think it's not going to happen.
yeah,
The talk in Germany right now is that Xabi Alonso wants to stay another season
yeah,
with
yeah,
Bayern
yeah.
Leverkusen. You know,
Okay.
I feel like,
Ram is saying Kim Min Jae is not that good.
I mean, Kim Min Jae is much better than what we have at centre back. Like, I mean, he's not. I won't say he's better on the ball than Lissandro Martinez, but he's certainly stronger in the air, and he's very physical and very quick. He can play the high line.
Yeah.
So I would say I would. You know, a lot of people rate Van Dijk. Kim Min Jae is not much different in terms of profile for profile, height for
Mm.
height, speed for speed, power for power. I think they're pretty much the same. Maybe he needs a little bit more experience because, as you know, Napoli, that was their first season, and he was also the stalwart of the season. But at the same time, good player.
Yeah. Anyway, Admiral Drex is saying Varane will end up back in France, but however, reports was also saying that Murtough was spotting at Real Madrid, so might be so. Together with his agent, they are looking for a new home for Rafael Varane, right? I don't think he wants to go to Saudi Arabia. I think he wants to finish his top flight in any European club. And going to Barcelona, there would be a little bit of a blow, bigging up to Real Madrid because he did spend a lot of his time at Real. So potentially he will go to Real, right?
You never know.
But
He
we
might.
know that he's out, definitely out.
Yeah, yeah. He might go. You never know. I just look at it from the perspective that, if he leaves, it might be a loss for the team in terms of the youngsters coming up into the squad that, gain from his experience and training. But at the same time, it might be good to moving on, give Kwambala a chance. I think Kwambala has the physicality, the profile, and the potential to exceed Varane at
100%.
some point in his
100%.
career.
Okay. Okay. Well, Brent White is the favorite, and also Bremer, right? There was a lot of talk
Hmm.
about Todibo, but that's kind of died out. In the midfield, what we're looking at a 6 to 8 hybrid. Let me tell you, I just spoke to a few people, and that is still Onana from Everton. He is something that I would like to have, right? That guy has a never, he's got a battery that will never end, right? He's physical. Do you rate him?
I like him. I like him a lot. He provides a. I think he's what we hope Scott McTominay would have been. You know, that
Mm,
big guy that could provide the height. You know, very mobile, very physical, and has a good passing range. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And he's not bad when going in front of goal.
Okay.
I
Two other names is also mentioned: Fofana and Weifer.
mm,
Mm,
Wifer, I would take for Fana. I wouldn't touch him.
I wouldn't touch him. Centre midfield. Now we're talking. João Neves.
I like the
Rui
kid.
Costa is Rui Costa. You know Rui
Yeah,
Costa.
he's gonna want 110 million.
100 million. He
100
won't
million.
budge.
Nothing
No
less.
way, Jose. If you know Rui Costa, that guy doesn't budge. You
Yeah.
know, they have done a quarter of a billion just in players acquisition and sales, right? They buy them up very cheap, like 7 million, and they sell them off for like 100 million, 115. But if you look at them, they are like, a sellers club.
Mm-hmm.
But if you looked at them in the Europa League, they were lackluster. They were shit, to be honest.
Yeah,
And the
they
only
were
one that
having a
stood
bad
out there
time.
was absolutely João Neves. But he's still
Mm.
young, he's still raw, he's still on the list. But will we trigger 100 million? I don't think so, right?
Maybe next season. Maybe in January as well. You never know. But
Yep.
definitely not this summer.
Yeah. And the story about Frankie Dejong won't go away either. Barcelona are in dire shit business situation. They need to get rid of a lot of deadwood, and Frankie's coming up on the paper again. You know that Ten Hag is still sitting there. I think they had this discussion with Deco yesterday. It's not just that they had a small conversation. They asked, inquire about the current situation, right? I don't think this saga with Frankie De Jong is dead. I think it will pop up again, right? Either it goes to Chelsea, either it goes to United, or either it goes somewhere else. What's your thoughts?
I'll make a reckless take about Frankie de Jong here, guys. I made one reckless take this morning on KG's channel, but I'll make one reckless take
Okay.
here. If Frankie de Jong has any assurances about the money being owed to him, the money owed to him by Barcelona, we're talking about the 16 million, right, guys? Then the only place he will end up is in Manchester United. Chelsea, who? That's all I have
You
to say.
reckon?
Telling you, like,
Well,
I feel like the whole issue with the fact that we didn't get league grade and 16 million that was owed, 10 of that was based on what they call it, the loyalty clause or something like that. You know, it's like a loyalty clause. You know, him being loyal to Barcelona,
yeah,
and if he was
right.
to, I want to move, then they could make an argument not to pay him half of that.
So no, no, fine. I mean, this Frankie De Jong saga is split like it's equally toxic as talking about Greenwood. So, guys, at the end of the day, if you do get a Frankie De Jong in the summer, you would not complain, right? You would not, 100%. You know, Frankie De Jong was the plan A when Ten Hag joined. He was the cogwheel that was transitioning his football going forward. That didn't happen. So what happened is that John Murtough flew down to Real Madrid, which, by the way, they are brothers and sisters club. You know what I mean? They have very good relationship. They made a quick deal, 75 million for Casemiro. That was a paper of the crack, and he didn't was this. It wasn't the same style of player that Ten Hag really wanted to play his style. So we've been compensating. Now João Neves could play that role. De Jong is perfect in that system. He's another glider, press resistant, a person that can get out tight spaces, 100%. So, question is, guys, smash a one in the chat if you would love to take a De Jong back, right? Or two if to say stay away. I know a lot of people's gonna smash two. No, he cheated on us in the summer. It wasn't that. It wasn't that they had genuine conversations. It was the financial levers. You know,
Yeah,
it
he
was
was
that.
being owed 16 million. I mean,
You
if
won't
you
walk away from it.
like I hear a lot of people saying he said no. But let's be real, guys. Like if someone owes you money and it's a loyalty bonus, right? Then if you say you want to leave the club, that's disloyalty. That's your
Yep.
bonus gone. We all
Listen,
here not gonna leave 16 million or 6 million behind, maybe not even one. Come on, let's be honest. Don't be
Yeah,
mad
let
at
me
the
just
guy.
go to the chat. Let me say, João Neves, not for 100 million, while Nidrisco saying, going back. Drexy is saying, what you saying here? Frankie won't do it all by himself, but he will improve us as a team. 100% he will. The special one, get João Neves. That's what you saying. Admiral Drex says, one for Frankie de Jong. The special one says, no way, Jose. Jalemalmin say no. Alan says no. Madhouse says no. Ian McDonald says one. Yes. And yo,
Ian
yo,
McDonald is also saying, with the red tape around his contract, who's leaving that money? No
yeah.
chance.
Like he's like, listen, like you mother yucker, right? You owe me 3 Snickers, right? I'm not gonna leave you until you pay me my 3 Snickers back, mate. You gotta stick around here. It's the same thing, right? But we're
Yeah.
talking about 17 million big schmackaronis, right? This is money that could. There's a life changer. You just don't walk away from that. Hey, if you're not gonna pay me, I'm gonna sit here and stink up the place until you pay me, right? And then
100%.
the club went pissed off with him, started to play him in the wrong position, benching him, stuff like that against all odds, made up stories, XYZ. You know what? Footballers don't give a shit where they play nowadays. It's all about the Benjamins.
100%.
Yeah.
In a way, you
Well,
could
the
say it's been.
majority said Sodom. I get that. Listen,
Mm.
right. Something that is nailed on that I believe will happen in the summer, right? Olise, your thoughts?
I like the kid. He's got that X factor. I have to say it. He's just like Ezzy. But I have to stick with Neil on this one. As much as I would like to be, you know, and go off about Olise, I have to stick with Neil. I would have Neto, not just because
Yep.
he's 20 million less, but I like his drive. I like what you can close your eyes and open them every single game. He's going to give you this. I would take that.
100%. No, 100%. Listen, on the right wing situation, we have Olise, we have Neto is a short list. Williams, Xerxes, and Tell. These are the names that United are looking at. But I believe it's going to be Olise. Bang on, net on. Bang on.
Why
60,
not?
60 million release clause. Neto. I love Neto. Pedro Neto, get him. Sign him up, right? Hey, get us two, right?
What are we
But
gonna?
some,
We have too many wingers, guys. Like we
but
have
somebody's got to
seven
go then.
wingers,
Somebody's got to
seven
go.
already. I
Somebody's got
mean,
to go.
uh, maybe one or two guys gotta go, but at the same time, I'm just saying this from the perspective that I would like to see the backups come to the forefront as well. Like I'm concerned. Like I might be a little critical of Ahmad, but I would still like to see him get game time and prove me wrong. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's the
Yeah.
same with Anthony. It's the same with Palestri. It's the same with Garnacho. I just think I've given Rashford enough time, and he should be moved on now. He's been here too long. You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah. Guys, there's been so much divide. Ahmad is leaving. I don't think he's leaving.
I think
It
so.
was debunked. Wait a minute. It was kind of debunked. He hit back on his social media post. And happy, Ramadan Kareem to everyone, Muslims, brothers, because now it's prayer time. I can hear it here. Um, and he's basically said, I took everything down because it's Ramadan. Did you see that? People
Hmm.
were lashing out, why did you do this post? Blah, 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 blah. But he wrote in Arabic, and it's actually Ramadan. He's Muslim.
Most of the guys are. There are lots of guys like
Mm.
Salah and these guys. This is why I don't react to some of these things because I feel like it's just been blowing things out of proportion. Everyone has
Blowing
some
smoke.
subjective idea
Yep.
or thought on what it is. The guy just closed his Instagram. So what if he does that? It's his Instagram. It's not
Social. You
yours.
just want to stay away. Ramadan, if you don't know, it's all about being a good boy, respecting people in need that don't have food and money. And basically, you're doing fasting, you're not drinking water, you're not smoking, you're not doing anything until, it's iftar, meaning that the sun has gone down and you can eat, right? Until the sun goes up again. Then you have sohar. You know what I mean? I lived
Mm.
in the Middle East, so I know how it is. And it's quite beautiful how you cleanse your body, right? And that's the thing. Um, but anyway, guys, big up to you. Don't forget again, there's like 130 of you watching. Do give us a like. Do smash a like on this video because we're going to talk about striker position.
That's the interesting one for me. And I hope you have some information about Benjamin Sesko there because that guy, we need
Who?
to get him.
Benjamin Button?
Benjamin Sesko. We need to get that guy. Trust me. The fan
Benjamin
base,
says.
you would be happy if we get him. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, we got this one, and that's the Brazilian that I want because we need Brazilians, right? But we also need somebody up front, right, Mark? We need
Yeah.
maybe the Brazilian the Benfica stole from us, Marcos Leonardo.
Yeah, man. I feel like he would have provided the correct thesis for what Hoyland is because he's smaller. He's not bad at holding up the ball. If you've watched the Benfica games recently, he's played in the previous cup game. I didn't think he played last night, but he's been playing well. And for me, he offers that maverick moment. You're not too sure what he's gonna do, but he's going to go,
Yeah.
right? But
Anyway,
I'm
Rashford's
pretty.
relationship with United reminds me of a couple divorcing but have to share their same house till it's sorted in the courts. Looks very messy. I don't want to give energy. I don't want to give platform for this. I don't. I particularly look at the team in general, and I can see the unbalance, and I can see who's where the snakes are still. Right. We did a show yesterday, Jarvis's, and is Ten Hag doing a Ragnick moment, calling out the snakes?
Maybe because I've been thinking when I look at some of the games and I see some of the way he sets the team up, the only thing I could think of is he's highlighting to Sir Dave Brilford that look at this guy. This is what I have to use. He's not that good, but this is what I got. Can you help
Yep.
me? You know,
I believe so. What Neil is saying here, Armada Police will be sold in the summer if you bring in an Elise. That's what I believe. Something's got to give, or you will sell Anthony dos Santos, which hasn't been that good, to be
I
honest.
I don't know, but you know what? At least this is the one thing I'll hope. Whichever decision they make, if they sell Ahmad and Palestri or if they sell Anthony, I would hope that they also sell Rashford. I'm not trying to say that he's a terrible player. I'm just trying to say that if we are going to give players time, we need to keep it on a level playing field, and
Okay,
we've given him more than enough time.
more than enough. Yeah. Yes, true that. Guys, please, if you haven't, like and subscribe, and yeah, that's what you can do. Like and subscribe, support our channel. We're about to wrap up this show this beautiful Tuesday. Jordan Wall, Victor Gurkes, very good Swedish player. I like him as well. Striker, yes, Benjamin Sesko is a name that I've been banging on the drums since over a year, right? Speaking to a lot of people, I know his agents personally as well. His name is Elvis Bosanovic. Manchester United scouting department has been scouting him for minimum 2 years. They are mad about the kid. I know we are looking to potentially bring in a mature one, but there is no person out there, right? And we purchased Hoyland for 75 million, so Hoyland is going to be our guy. We need somebody that's like for like. It's like if my left tire blows out, I want to have the same tire. You know what I mean? The
As a
same
spare.
functionality as a spare, right? And that's what it is, right? So Sesko is definitely hot on the press, definitely can do the job, and will cost United about 40 million pounds, and there's a release clause in the summer. He's definitely on the plate. But another name that keeps popping up is Harry Kane. I don't know, man. You
We
dropped the
want
pen
some.
there.
We would like to have gifts, gifts of titles, gifts of victories. No curses, please. It was just Christmas, man. Keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, guys. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
pundits are saying that Harry Kane is looking to return back to England. He's having a great time in Germany, but he's not winning anything. It's the
I think
curse.
it's his fault that Bayern Munich isn't winning anything. I mean, they won the league last season with a worse strike force. They didn't even have Lewandowski, and they still won the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy goes there, and all of a sudden, they can't win the league.
Sorry. This would be so typical the club to go for Harry Kane. It would not surprise me. It would not, because why?
It would be the
Harry
worst.
Kane is a bloody good striker, to be honest. He is. Right? Nobody can deny him, right? He's not
Yeah,
world class of the yet because he hasn't won anything, but he provides you goals, right? And
yeah,
it
but
wouldn't be he's
he's slower than Ronaldo, Mick.
yeah.
Ronaldo is faster than this guy, and we were complaining he's 37. You know what I mean?
It's a no.
Like,
It's a no for me. It's a
it's a
no for me.
definite no
The
for me. I
train
think
has already departed,
mm,
and I don't think the Bayern Munich wants to get rid of him. I don't think so.
they
But
just paid 90 M's, Mick.
they did. They did.
What are
So
we gonna
therefore,
pay
for
for him?
me, United will more look at a striker like a Benjamin Sesko profile or the Brazilian Leonardo. That's the
Hmm.
thing, right? If for some reason, what I've been told, if for some reason they decide to keep Alvaro Fernandez, United is going to talk to them about a potential swap with what's this called, Leonardo. So
Hmm.
there's always a negotiations there. So United is definitely looking for a secondary striker, but not
Hmm.
to that elk that will block Rasmus Højlund's development, which I think it's the bloody good thing.
Thank you. And as much as Yali, I agree with you. Kane might just give us 20 to 25 goals, but he will never give us a trophy. A decade with no trophy, bro. Not even for club or country. Bro, that
Yep,
says something loud. That says that you are destined not to win anything, bro. Destined.
yep.
You know what I mean?
Before I want to close the shop, guys. Matt was saying Kane and his no trophy curse. No, thank you. Kane could have and should have been bought when Poch was sacked. Perfect time to get him. Ship sailed. That is gone. And I believe that Spurs are playing more liberating now. They're not force feeding balls to Kane anymore. They're playing such much better football, and that's what I have to say, guys. At the end of the day, big up, massive. We debunked the meeting in Barcelona. We gave you a little bit of the secret targets, and there's 10 games to play, 10 points to play for. No, 10, 10,
30
30
points.
points. 30
Mm-hmm.
points. And 10 is the name of the manager.
Ten Hag.
7 is the name of Mason Mount's shirt.
Yeah,
Then
which is
7 is a
probably
lucky
not
number.
going to
And
be his next season.
Mason,
Because if what I'm hearing is true, Mick, it's going to be a shocker next season. It's going to be a shocker. But you know
yeah,
what, guys? We got 10 games left in the league. We got a few more games possibly left in the Cup. FA Cup quarterfinals coming up this weekend. I'm pretty sure Mick is going to do a preview. You know, he's on this
100%.
side on Wednesday. You know what I mean? Or Thursday. So, guys, stay tuned for that. Big up to all of you joining us. It's been a pleasure to bring this information to you all, and it's a pleasure to have you all and have all your comments and be able to deliberate and talk and interact with you all. And you know, guys, there's still time. We can still get top four. And I would ask everyone, you know, you may be on the fence and Ten Hag out. You may be on the right with Ten Hag out, but you may be like me, Ten Hag in on the left side of the picture. But at the same time, you never know. If he gets into top four and he gets into the final of the FA Cup, I'm pretty sure you're going to be happy with that. And 2 seasons in a row, getting in top four and playing in a cup final, we don't have a manager that did that in the last 5 years, bro. So you know,
No, big up. Listen, football is round and anything can happen. We just have to be positive. There's no point of staying negative and believing we cannot win. You know, what's the point of slagging each other off when we have 10 games to go? The style of play will not be there 100%, but football is a result business, and all we care about is getting 3 points, get into the summer, overhaul the squad, and go fresh. That's what I believe. Anyway, thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in. This is probably the last stream, the first and last stream that we do today. All we ask for you is to do the proper thing, like and subscribe, guys. And see you till next time. Bye for now. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.